think that there's a lot of reasons why I'm doing it. I just think the biggest one is like, I don't know, I see in our culture like everybody wanting to get things. It's like, buy this, buy that, buy this, buy that. And it's like, every time it's like that new thing is gonna bring you happiness of some sort. And it's like, I've even bought into that lie. It's kind of like I'd say it's like a treadmill. And at the end of the treadmill is a treat of some sort. And you're running, right? But you never catch it. And that's kind of how I feel about like just like our culture's consumeristic nature. And I think that the John Muir Trail doesn't necessarily answer that myth of how to be happy, or not myth, but this idea that hiking this trail is gonna make you happy. I think it just puts you in the right state of mind.
Who wouldn't want to be a mountaineer? Up here, all the world's prizes seem nothing. John Muir.
Because think about it. Everything you have is on your back. You don't have any more or any less than you need. It's exactly what you need, right? And I just think that, I think that's kind of beautiful. You're not looking for things to make you happy. It just kind of like sets you up to look for something bigger. So the prep hasn't been too bad. The food's pretty bad. Getting all those things in those little tiny bear cans is pretty rough. But I think that everything else has been fine. The training hasn't been too crazy. But I think other than that, I feel like it's more of a mental game than anything. Or at least it will be.
This is the hardest thing I've ever done.
I just can't wait to get out there. I can't wait.
Oh, hey. What do you know? Enough of this training stuff. Let's get to the real hike. Just like that, after months of preparing and years of dreaming, it was time to begin this adventure. And of course, you can't have an adventure of this sort without a golden ticket. It was crazy to believe that our lives were about to change. That we wouldn't be living a normal life for a couple weeks. Soon we would be living out of tents, hiking for the majority of the day, and eating freeze-dried food. Soon, we would be through hiking the JMT. One thing that became apparent quickly was that the sun wakes you up. There's no such thing as sleeping in. But on days like this one, sometimes the sun was even slow to wake you up. The sheer excitement was enough to make you jump out of your sleeping bag, eat quickly, and pack up. Today, we would be starting the John Muir Trail. But with all new things, there's bound to be setbacks. Day one already, and I've already lost my little tripod. It's back on the trail somewhere. Zach is out there trying to find it, but It's not really the end of the world, but it's kind of a troll that I fell out of my back. But, yeah, could be worse.
I can show you.
Finding our first camp felt like a milestone. For the first time, it had begun to feel like we were really doing this thing. That all the years of dreaming had become a reality.
They fused into one.
Let me see it.
12 tortillas are literally now one.
You made a quesadilla out of it.
And what a beautiful reality it was. And with things like this, there's bound to be inside jokes. And pretty soon, Zach blessed us with the first one of the trip.
Us up there, it's pretty steep, but we're making it.
He wasn't wrong though. It sure was steep. But beautiful nonetheless.
You know, it looks steep, but that is what we're walking up right now. A heavy pack. It's a little ridiculous.
Before we knew it, we had reached another milestone. New Army Pass, our first pass of the trip. It was like nothing I'd ever seen before. The mountains went as far as the eye could see. The marmots seemed to enjoy the view too. But unlike the marmots, we couldn't stay. We had to keep moving.
Okay, there's no circle in mine. This person is also not wearing ultras. Okay. I'm not seeing any more ultra trash.
And soon, we had found our home for the night.
Not saying it again.
Say it again.
No.
Say it again.
Nope.
Say it again.
No. I refuse.
You have good control over what?
Nothing.
Did you say your butthole?
Sadly, I was unable to film too much this day. I lost my camera charger the night before. But luckily, another hiker lent me her charger, and I was able to capture some of the most beautiful scenes of the trip thus far. Except, of course, for the wag bags.
Pretty good.
If I was any better, there'd be two.
Hey.
Soon, we found camp at Guitar Lake, ate dinner, and went to bed. I had no idea what I was in for the next day. The infamous Day 4. Mount Whitney. Note to self, don't eat Mountain House Chili Mac the day before summiting the tallest peak in the lower 48. Big mistake.
It is currently like 3 in the morning, and we're gonna start our ascent.
I figured that out pretty quick. My stomach ached with every step I took on the trail. So much, in fact, that I thought I was going to implode at times. But nevertheless, I continued up the mountain. Reaching the top felt anticlimactic. It was cold, windy, and hard to breathe.
Freaking freezing.
But it sure was beautiful. The stomach pain did not go away though. After some unfortunate circumstances on the way down, we finally made it.
How you feeling right now, Zach?
So tired.
That was a brutal day, huh? Big Dad?
It was good to know that we had finished the highest point of the trail. After such a long day, we took our time leaving camp the next morning. I'd even daydreamed about real food.
You know what sounds good right now?
What?
Subway. But what sounds even better is the Indian food and a Long Guy's food truck at Davis. Friggin', I want chicken over rice so badly right now. You don't understand. I want it. I want chicken over rice a lot in my normal life. But now that I haven't had it for 3 months,
You really want
in
it.
the middle of the wilderness, I probably would kill something to eat it.
And I really, really, really badly want a pizza right now.
At the crisp hour of 11 a.m., we were on our way to Forster Pass.
What is wrong with you? Are you freaking kidding me? Stop falling out of my backpack. Thank you. Goodbye.
At this point, it was starting to feel normal to be on trail. It had become our normal life. Our feet didn't seem to think it was normal though. Or our stomachs. But this was life now. But for Mr. Marmot, this was always life. Getting to camp that night was a relief, especially for my feet.
Not really a pleasant night. Wind was ridiculous. It was having 30, 40 mile an hour gusts of wind. Blew my tent down in the middle of the night. Had to go put it back up. But I think I got enough sleep to get to Forster today.
And just enough sleep had I gotten. At 13,153 feet of elevation, Forster Pass was not an easy one. Reaching the top was yet another milestone. But what goes up must come down. And down we went.
Bro. Dude! You're the worst. I love you.
At times, following rock cairns that falsely advertised the trail direction.
That was so sketchy.
If you thought we had it figured out at this point, you'd be wrong. Soon, we made our way to Vedette Meadow. And oh baby, was it beautiful.
Wow.
That's incredible.
But not as beautiful as Zach volunteering to pack out a fellow hiker's extra clothes. It was not long before we made camp and got an up-close and personal visit from the local fauna. And before the night ended, we were joined by a fellow hiker with a trail named Beans. We were eager to go into town the next day.
I was gonna go cowabunga and throw a rock in the lake and tell you guys, come on in, it feels warm.
Yeah.
See what you thought.
Definitely would not have gotten anywhere.
Yeah.
Try to make you not forget me.
After saying goodbye to Beans, we were on our way to town for our resupply. It was weird and exciting to think that we would be in civilization in a couple hours. Actually, it was mostly exciting. Soon, we could see our first glimpses of civilization and reminisced about past backpacking trips.
We were freaking crazy.
But for today, there would be no more hiking. Just eating and savoring the luxuries of civilization. And yes, that includes doing your laundry. And of course, showering.
I got in that shower. I literally thought the water smelled like sewer water. I was like, there's something wrong with the water. All me.
Oh, and did I mention real food? But resupply isn't always fun and luxurious. Your pack goes from feeling empty to backbreaking. But we were grateful for a vacation from our vacation.
I was more worried about it would move your bit, your bear cat.
Yeah.
Not find it. Really stuck up your chest. How far away did you put your...
And just like that, we were back on trail. But this time, with heavy packs.
We're doing good.
And a new mini tripod. Despite a restful evening, it was refreshing to get back outside. To get back to life. And marvel at God's creation that surrounded us.
happened?
I opened a mayonnaise packet. I pulled one of those classic maneuvers with like all over my leg.
And it definitely wasn't an easy day back. 2 passes in one day, and with one of them being Glen Pass, you better believe it was a hard one. Probably the hardest pass we've done. It was nuts. So, made it up. But the views more than made up for it. It was like a wonderland. There was even magic water that came from the rocks.
Water? Dude, it's freaking like refrigerator cold.
Everything about this place seemed surreal. The peaks towered above the trees, and the trees sat humbly below. And we sat, maybe not so humbly, below the trees. But it was a blessing just to be here.
It's so good.
Leaving camp every morning is kind of sad. It's like saying goodbye to your old home every day and moving somewhere else. There's anticipation, but also sadness. But nonetheless, we had to keep going forward towards our end goal, Yosemite Valley. The day started with thousands of feet of descent. And a river crossing or two. But if you descend thousands of feet, you're gonna have to ascend thousands of feet. But hey, at least we got to cross an awesome suspension bridge. The ascent proved to be quite difficult and quite discouraging, bringing me to the lowest low of the trip.
This is the hardest thing I've ever done.
This became the turning point. From here, I could clearly see God working pain into beauty. And that he did. From the top of Pincho Pass, we could see just how far we had come. There was no fear of not finishing now. There was no fear of failure. I know I said that this is the hardest thing I've ever done, and it really has been. But today is a turning point. I think for some reason the hardest day has been my favorite day. I think I'm just finally starting to realize that God's using it to purify me. Like he's literally using it to take out all the distractions and show me that I need to rely on him solely. Getting to camp every night was always the daily goal. To hike a certain number of miles. To cross certain creeks. climb over certain passes. To get to Yosemite. But I began to realize that this trip was much bigger than that. The trail wasn't just a number of miles to be hiked, or lakes to see, passes to cross. It's a journey that changes you and makes you appreciate, well, life. Wow, that is just stunning. Except for this tree, of course.
Literally just fell straight in the middle of the path. No considerations for others. I know you're dead, but like, you don't have to get sucked by other people, Sam.
I began to notice that I started to roll with the punches of life better than I had before, and enjoy the oddities of life. Here we go. One thing's for sure, the trail never failed to amaze.
I got fuller and I got...
From towering peaks to humble birch forests, and everything in between. There was always something incredible to feast your eyes on.
I don't know if you can see this, but look how tan my hands are. Look. Wow.
It was crazy to think that we had been on this trail for 12 days already. It had gone by in the blink of an eye. Getting to Muir Pass felt like another milestone. At this point, we felt like seasoned veterans. Evolution Basin was by far the most unique landscape we had seen yet. It was almost like being on another planet.
Wanda Lake. This is the real Wanda Lake right here.
Two islands up there. Pretty cool.
But if this was another planet, I really wanted to live here. Soon, we dropped into Evolution Lake, our stop for the night. But we were told by some fellow hikers on the pass that there was a meadow that was like the Garden of Eden. So we pushed on. They weren't wrong. McClure Meadows proved to be one of the most beautiful places I had ever seen before. It was no wonder why John Muir called the Sierras the Range of Light. Unfortunately, we had to leave this paradise too. And cross Evolution Creek at the butt crack of dawn.
little frigid?
Wow. It's a little bit colder than the other room we had.
Stay tuned for more.
But this day quickly became one of my favorites. Although we left what we thought was paradise, it seemed to follow us. It followed us to our next resupply point at Muir Trail Ranch. As I have already said before, resupply is bittersweet. You get more food, but at the expense of your back.
How much was yours, Zach?
35 pounds.
35. I think mine was 31. He's taking a lot of video.
Soon, we set up camp just outside of Muir Trail Ranch and went across the river to find the hot springs. We didn't get in.
A lot of stuff living in there. A lot of bugs. A lot of stuff. Not hot. Kind of sketch. There's a lot of stuff in it. A lot of bugs. A lot of plants. Not getting in.
I second this message. It was hard to believe that we were over halfway to Yosemite Valley, and that this would end eventually.
Brett's like gonna leave.
Okay.
Starting the day with a couple 1,000-foot climb is never fun. Even if you've been out here a while.
You keep going.
It's still hard. But it's always worth it. Although it felt like we had already hiked a full day's worth, we had a long way to go.
We'll see how this goes.
Which included hiking through a thunderstorm.
I heard thunder. This is what we're running from.
It's about to rain right now, so it's probably bye for now. And descending the fabled infinite switchbacks. Eventually we made it, and oh baby, it felt so good. Just did the longest day of the trip. 21 miles today. My feet are dying. My legs are dying. I'm glad to be here because tomorrow, 1 mile in, and then we have a 0 day. So it's gonna be good. Really grateful for this opportunity. Nero and 0 days are always a blessing. After hiking day in and day out, it's nice to have a day of rest. Or in our case, 2 days. Seeing the ferry for the first time was like chicken soup for the soul.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
What's that?
What?
What's that?
There's a snack.
Soon, we would be resting and eating like kings.
Yeah.
Oh, and you better believe we did. Complete with real beds.
Oh baby.
Rain is coming, as you can see, and thunder.
Contrast is insane.
Still sun above us, but we're gonna go
Oh
see
baby.
if we can find some service over at
And service. VVR was like an oasis in the desert. and rest for our weary legs. Oh, and did I mention the food?
For scale.
It's kind of that good because like yesterday, I got to the point where I was just struggling because I wasn't able.
You can do it, Zach. I knew that would bait you out. It's like an office.
But what was most filling was the people. Around the campfire, we marveled at the stories of the Pacific Crest Trail hikers. They were like celebrities to us commoners.
Are you actually gonna do that?
I was thinking about it.
But soon we had to say goodbye to our new friends. They wouldn't be staying with us another day.
Service? Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. 6, 7 B's. Oh, baby. Oh, baby.
You're actually taking a dump on me right now. That's unreal.
Oh. Oh. So this is where we are. And right here. And we are making it to this place tomorrow. Oh, it doesn't look too bad, right? Just 5,000 feet. Are you freaking trolling me? How do you feel about our day tomorrow?
It's insane. Dude, why is there a spider up there? That's horrifying.
How you feeling right now, Zach?
Sad day. Rip bank. I got rip bank. Oh, it makes me real sad. I just spent freaking $230 at VVR.
Was it worth it?
Kinda not.
Oh, baby.
And just like that, we were headed back to the trail. We were reluctant to leave this little oasis, but we were excited to see what was ahead. And if you couldn't tell already, we didn't have an easy day back. But as always, everything that surrounded us made up for it.
Wow.
Reaching Silver Pass felt nostalgic. In the distance, Banner and Ritter loomed. At this point, Yosemite Valley felt like a stone's throw away. but you better believe there were still challenges ahead. And more beautiful things to see.
Happy birthday.
Trail life is a rhythm.
I hit a little walk for me.
And such a simple rhythm it is. But in that simplicity is the beauty of it all. You are simply present.
Little nut.
Hi, buddy.
And delighted by the smallest of things. Like food,
This is the best potato salad ever.
Is it actually?
Yeah.
or a sign that shows just how far you'd come. It was all starting to become bittersweet. Passing Devil's Post Pile reminded me of all the times I'd been there before, but this time, it was different. It was one of the last big landmarks on our journey. And our journey was drawing to a close. In a few short days, we would be in Yosemite Valley.
The snake?
Oh, baby. Oh, there's some near us? Oh, baby, I'm scared. Look how fast it is. Hey, buddy.
I was excited to finish, but I didn't want it to all end. Part of me wanted this to never end, but I knew it had to.
Oh, baby. Oh, dude, freaking. Oh, yeet. Dude, look at the freaking hair. It's all singed. Oh, babe.
You don't really realize how much you take for granted until you do something like this. It really does humble a person, strip the non-essential, and reveal what matters most to us. doesn't take much to bring us complete and utter delight.
To be honest.
Soon, we had finished our last big pass of the trip.
I don't know if you see him or not. Zach is right there, trying to get better service so he can upload a YouTube video.
And began making our way down to Tuolumne Meadows, marking the beginning of the end of this wild, hard, joyful, painful, wonderful adventure of a lifetime. Making our way down to Tuolumne Meadows felt unique. There was excitement. There was joy. A feeling of accomplishment. A twinge of sadness.
Oh, car, you ruined.
A dash of civilization.
Car is my shot now.
No.
And, well, food.
Which one was better? This one?
And can't forget about the Half Dome permit.
That's so beautiful.
It would be our finale in less than 2 days. The end was so close. We could almost taste it.
Been nice? Let's see if I can.
Tomorrow, we'd be finishing the JMT and saying goodbye to this chapter in our lives.
The heck? What the?
But you already know that we weren't going to waste our last full day on trail.
It's one hand.
Zach even performed street magic.
I'm gonna take your 9. I'm gonna put it here. Now take your now just hold it tight, okay? Don't let go. Ready? 3, 2. Turn over.
Eventually, we could see Half Dome loom in the distance further cementing the realization that we were almost there.
Big cliff. And that
Our final destination in Yosemite Valley, only miles away now.
Oh, whoa, oh, hey.
From the moment I learned about this trail, I knew that I wanted to hike it. I thought I wanted to do it only for the beauty, for the opportunity to photograph and film some of the most incredible landscapes. But I found so much more than that. I found what life was like stripped to the core,
there, finally did it.
without distractions. And I loved it.
Oh, baby.
I also learned so much about myself. I learned life is too short to live in fear, and that pain is oftentimes worked into beauty. I had discovered that I didn't hike the John Muir Trail. It had hiked me. I think that God used the John Muir Trail to completely change who I am. To change me from somebody who's afraid to fail into somebody who is not afraid to fail. The things that I got to see on this trail are unlike anything I'd ever seen before. I dreamed of going to these places, but I never really saw myself in them. Getting to be there was just incredible. It's an extremely simple life. You get up, you eat, then you hike for 8 hours of the day, sometimes 10, or more even, and you're just walking. And then you get to camp. And if there's any light left, you eat and then go to bed. That routine is so appealing. I don't know. It's very appealing to get to live such a simple life. I think there's really something beautiful in simplicity.